Hey guys, I'm just doing an update. It is June 2023. I just wanted to kind of touch base and just let people know what's going on in my brain. So I went from being a producer to a full-time artist, and there's been some bumps, but I want to let people know I've been doing music for so long that my family, either at my school or around the country, if they've extended out, if it's through music, producing, being a singer, songwriter, engineer, Hollywood, indie, they're letting people know the reality of being a self-made entrepreneur. So one of the things that you guys can't see is this is what I was trying to let the people that basically I'm at a Starbucks all the time, just trying to spread by the sheriff's office, and I was letting them know that there is Hollywood, which is the stuff for everyone, like the verified TV, and then there's people that really they made their American dream and they're not like the industry, and I think it's 50-50 where the industry has to respect they exist. What does this mean? That is their property. You can't do anything about it. If you have a town, shout out to Tom Monty. If you have your own town, you can do it. If you are like Elon, you have Solar City, that is your city. If you had a country, you could, state the same thing. That's your rules, or those are your rules. So we're in a reality where Wittenberg University is not like the industry, and it's kind of there, but it's not, because people don't know about it through like Netflix or anything. It's just its own thing. So this is an environment where you have to unprogram yourself, where you're not in trouble for basically eating an apple and not eating a pizza based off what people are affirming out on social media. So Wittenberg University, from my eyes, is a self-sufficient university. So when I was promoting self-sufficiency, you're basically wanting to come back either through my school, Gulf Coast program, Naples, anything, going back and talking with Naples Gators, Naples Extreme, anybody. It was just to help people. So what's been going on in the producing community? I'm just going to be blunt. There's been a lot of selfless help, and there's been a lot of selfishness. So what is the difference between selfish and selflessness? A lot of people are realizing that there are real people. I'm just going to just be blunt. There's people who are passionate about music, and then there's people who are just doing it to make money. So what the football and music community are trying to do is try to figure out who is passionate from who is just doing it to make money, and they're telling them you can switch professions, you can make money, doing something else, helping someone build something. So in music, you have someone like me, and there's a lot of people who are just passionate about it. So the one thing that a lot of producers are saying is every producer respects Isaiah from a composition standpoint. So there is a dance studio awe to music, which means you own something. It is your painting, and they're going, whoa, like every time, like, whoa, like I can't do that because I look like it's like a Drake song, like when they're like hyping, like you can't, like they're not gonna understand why you're going, whoa. They're gonna say, are you making money? Like if I said I made this off a cell phone, like whoa, like I did this off of FL Studio and then looped it in here, they're like whoa, like, or I did something and I made a song off of like a sneaker hitting the ground or something, they're like whoa, like whoa. Or a new program, like yo, or like your mic comes in like this is crazy. And unfortunately, because of social media, people don't appreciate the start to finish or the self-made stuff like that. So like there was a moment, I'm not trying to vent too much, but there are moments where, at least for me, there's been whoa moments. Like Isaiah dropped Batman, or I've been trying to drop something that spreads like the Dark Knight, which is in the space-time continuum. If any one of my production has spread like that, that's a whoa, like you missed it. Drake's had plenty of those. J. Cole's had plenty of those. Self-made entrepreneurs have had those on YouTube, through YouTube and stuff, and I've given them credit, like their moments to shine, like freestyling or something, or in the studio their clip goes out doing a remake or something, a remix. But we're in a confusing time where a lot of people can't tell the difference between self-made and a cubic zirconium. And what does this mean? I'm just going to just expose the truth. If you are fake, you are going to get exposed. And I'm trying to sugarcoat it, like I'm going to stay in the shadows, but eventually they'll say, it is what it is. So that's kind of what's going on, where I'm not doing this selfishly, I'm doing this selflessly. So it's like comic books. I think a lot of people are saying that it's fandom. So the problem right now is, how far do you go into? And that's a great question. Do you go from being an artist for 10 years and having your music portfolio and start teaching people? Do you go to radio? Do you try to get your foot in the door and to complex? So I think, like, if you're a geek and you're a really passionate person, well, Isaiah's a voice. So a lot of employers would say that Isaiah's psychology and trying to get to a good school, I think they've already agreed that this guy would have waited 30 years to get on Complex. Complex meaning there was a reason why, he was watching Complex. He's interested. He listens to Joe Budden. Joe Budden gets on his nerves. Like, he wants to have an opinion. Not that you have that, in that, but there's a point where, like, I want to work. I want to know how the stuff is made. Not like NDA terror, but I want to know how I can help if I have a platform and if I have a talent and if I want to basically go day in, day out with paperwork and do something. So there are people, not to, like, put them out there, but there's people that work for Complex and they know everyone. So if it's even working in the office or being around, I have a good education. So if I finish my, like, degree or something, it's gonna spread for, like, not Complex, but it's gonna spread for, like, anything media in terms of narrating. So I'm aesthetic. So in that, you have a community of people on YouTube who help narrate and interview people. So I want you guys to know that this is a career I take pride into, and I think a lot of people in Complex, or even people that work for anything big, anything. Like, basically, when people say you should do this, like, it's a dream to be able to say, hey, listen, even though we have our team and people that have been on Complex, we're going to be building more things and having, like a applesauce reality, and we can build an empire of that. So just know that from music, there is that opportunity where you can drop your application and it spreads amongst that community, and it is not, I don't hate it. Like, when you say, oh, why are we, because that's my psychology. I want to be in it. I want to know DJ academics. I want to know the family orient, like the business side, like slapping papers down and reading and all this stuff. So there's the radio. And music has a radio, but there's that, I want to be in it. So I've accepted the family of musicians, if it's from indie, signed, distribution, outsiders, insiders. I've accepted that that's the route that I want to go. Now, the reason why this is confusing people is, one more time, clarifying, when people tell you how far do you go in it, well, if you tell someone that's like a comic book geek, you tell him, why are you still collecting stuff that's childish? That's just who that person is. So there is a geek in me that really loves music, and it loves everything. So I could go from, like, complex conversations to audio engineering and software, and inventing my own software. Like, people like, you're a gifted person, and you need to just work here. And I'm like, I could invent software like Facebook, and I could easily create some kind of engine or some invention that helps music get out there and contribute to the music world. So I was really trying to be like LeBron and give my brain. But yeah, I mean, you make a website, you have a great idea, you can give it to the industry in the right hands. And right now the issue with production is they made it easier, but there's confusion in terms of how music is spreading online. You have a thing called BandLab, and they did listen to my critique about making something that's professional and you can spread through it. But ultimately, we realized that you have MP3 and WAV, and there's been complications on whether or not a file or song is the same. They don't have to allow you to stream in full resolution, which means if you take a video, you may need to buy better hardware. But you can eventually see that if it's a video and a music video, that video format is an MP4. So TuneCore and DistroKid, they've allowed artists to share. I'm going to just put something out in the atmosphere that helps people see something. Music is just like TikTok. So you have to realign your perspective. DistroKid's like Netflix, and then you have music, which is like TikTok. So is it illegal to do TikTok? No. Is that your identity? Yes, when you're on TikTok. Can they ban you? I'm gonna say no. They can just make it harder for you to stay relevant, like not shadow ban, but they can they can make it so people can flag you or something. But if it's a video recording, once that song gets on the internet, it's like a computer. It just spreads. So if you're a TikToker, it's gonna get out. So the key is you make a song, you put in a video, put in a digit, whatever, a lyric, it goes out there. So that's another reason why I'm not spreading the way that I'm spreading, but I'm not spreading the way that I want to in narration. You do not need to make a dime off of your music to build a following, and I wish they would narrate it like that. Take away the streams, you still can have a large following. Just think of it like if there was a separate, platform, and it was called, let's say it's Picture, like Picture XP or Picture XP or Video XP or Music.com, not Music.com, but Music, Picture dot whatever, and it could be a search engine, it could be anything, but you're you're able to post an MP4 of your music or the MP4 version of your music on their website, and they can search for the song and then they can like it. They're like, YouTube is that. I'm going further than that. It's directly for people who want to put out music, and it's a decision because YouTube is forced. It's a decision for you to be a part of it. BandLab was that. It weeded out everyone who doesn't like music, but in terms of releasing music, it'll be like TikTok. You're just gaining a following. And if you can drop enough music to gain a following, you can monetize that following because it's legit. Not World Star Hip Hop. I'm talking about something different where you can upload a lot of files and it's their will. Not a lot of files, but unlimited amount of MP4s. Anybody can search that song or go, hey, listen to this song. Gives you the option to pull it up on that player and you can listen to their music. You don't have to download it, but you're able to listen to their music in video format, which means it preserves the file or the WAV file. But that is something that they're eventually going to talk about, because when you're exporting files, you would think that, oh, it's really easy to basically upload something or, export something. But just like a movie, it takes a practical amount of time for something, or a practical file, or you need a lot of space or something, or your program or your phone or whatever it is. So I want you guys to know that this is the internet's fault for being the way it is, for allowing people to be unintelligent for a very long time, and people not being able to take criticism. Music was not designed to where you need money to be famous. Music was designed to where when you're good, you become famous. That's really it. And you don't have to make a dime off of it. You can just advertise off of it and you can make a lot of money. They're going to talk about that. I did music for advertisement. I didn't do music for vanity. So you can leave a comment, but ultimately that MP4 gets out there. So one more time, just to sum it all up, music is very similar through DistroKid and TuneCore, like Netflix. If you own an original, even Russ already cleared this out, it's CD distribution. If you want something and you want to listen to something from somebody, you type it, their name pops up, or the actor or whatever, and it's organized and you find it. Concerning whether or not you need money for shows or whatever, all you need to do is put the MP4 out there, kind of like MySpace, but you put the video out there and people can still listen to your song for free. It's like eating an apple, like Apple Music. It's your right. So someone can't come up here and be like, you can't eat an apple. You just go out and eat it. So music's the same way. You just make it and put it out there, and then you can eat it. That's it. So that's just so you guys know. And then concerning my school and stuff, they haven't really notified me of anything music. They're like, he's on his own, he's focused. And then concerning my relatives and stuff, they know, and they're like trying to process everything. I wasn't a person that wanted to sell a lie to people. I wanted them to see, well, if he's big or he's making a lot of money, he put a lot of time into it. He's a master at it, which means he's put thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of hours into it. And then when you see his portfolio, he is experienced. So hopefully that makes sense. Some people are going off a house, whether or not you made it. Eventually what you're going to see is there is minor leagues and there's major leagues. I'm in minors and I have the opportunity to go to the major. Major means you're out there and everyone knows about you all the time, but you don't have to go major. And then you can start your own league, which they're going to talk about it, and or you can partner with someone that has their own league.